Well, now time for one of our regular features. Monkey News.
Do the jingle.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
What we're doing here is just giving you a bit of monkey news that's gone on, right? Where a monkey's been involved in it. Good little story in that.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the one that went into space? The first sort of thing they ever sent up there before man did it and all that. You see, this is what annoys me with it really. Armstrong gets all the glory, but do you know who went up there before him?
A monkey.
Yeah. And what happened is they taught it what buttons to hit at the time that it needed to hit them, and the way they did this was like give it bananas. It was like hit the red button, and it hit the red button, they'd give it a banana.
Right.
And they go, right, reverse is the green one, hit the green one. And then they do that and go, there's a banana. And then they go, right, hit reverse, and it go and get a banana.
Right.
Hit the red, so it was taking commands on like headphones.
Right, but how are they
Is
giving
that
it the
how
banana?
you learn to do radio?
How are they giving it the banana?
What do you mean? No,
Well-
this is before it went. You wouldn't just go and put a monkey in it and go, there you go, get on with it. They'd sort of put him in one of them capsules that you get,
Yeah.
and they were on headphones.
I don't believe this happened.
Well, I'm telling you the story now. So the monkey
I don't
sat...
think they trained it to do anything. I think they sent it up there and he put electrodes coming out of it to see what
It wasn't
it's-
any of that. They did a thing like they do,
Right.
like they can with animals. If you give something, like a treat, you can teach it how to do it. It's just like a dog, isn't it?
It's called Pavlovian conditioning. However, that was to see if it would salivate or go over to a particular corner, not if it could control a spacecraft.
Next one up. It's the next one up. As far as the monkey's not sat there going, oh, I'm a bit under pressure here, it's a rocket. All that's knowing is, I'm getting a banana if I hit that button. That's all the monkey's thinking about.
They wouldn't put billions of
whatever.
space
But
dollars.
how can they be sure that it's going to press the button at the right moment?
Because it's got headphones on. It's not like willy-nilly. It's not just like pop it in there and
Willy-nilly,
see...
who's
see-
that?
What's to stop it from just hitting it any old time? Because it's a monkey and it's
Because
not a human.
Because he's trained now. But
Oh, it's
anyway,
trained.
so
It's fully
listen.
trained, yeah, go
So
on.
what happened is, anyway,
Oh, this is absolute rubbish.
they pop the monkey in there.
Yeah.
He's got his headphones on. They go in, right, hit the green one. And I think there's something there that a little banana comes out to keep the same...
No, you're making this up.
I'm not. It's the same...
There's no way that they made a
so
spacecraft
they can-
that had a banana dispenser.
Right,
There's
so-
no way in this world that they made a spacecraft that could go into outer space, right?
So what- so you're-
manned
so
by a
you're-
monkey with a banana dispenser.
So you're saying that it's easy to send something up to space, but you don't believe there's a little banana machine?
Right, okay,
So it comes to the launch day, monkeys sat in there, everyone's ready, bananas are stocked up and all the rest of it. They go, right, hit the green button, right, and the rocket goes off and what have you.
No, they would not make the monkey launch the rocket. Carl,
So-
you are living in a cartoon world.
So the rocket goes off, right?
This is absolute bollocks.
It's all going well.
I don't know
It's
what you're
all-
going to... It's not going well.
it's going
There's
well.
no way a monkey launched
It's
a
going-
rocket. There is no way a monkey launched a rocket,
So
you idiot.
it's all going on, so they go and hit the left button and it goes a
The
little bit left.
left button.
Right, so-
Well-known spacecraft command. This is Houston. Hit the left button. Oh, brilliant. This is what happened in Apollo 13. Hit the left button.
So it
You
goes
are-
left. Yeah, it goes left.
So it goes left and it's going well.
Left!
It's-
It goes
I know.
left!
Yeah.
No, the moon. You're
it
going
goes,
right.
It goes for the moon. Everything's going well.
Right.
They get up there. It does whatever it does. It reverse. It comes back. Right. So then
You are, honestly, you are brain dead.
So it's
you are
long-
one of the most stupid people. That I would rather have the monkey drive me
listen.
home than you.
So the thing is, so it lands back.
Yeah.
It does a good job and everything. It gets out. And this
It's sick of bananas.
This is where it turns a bit sad, because after it's done that mission, right? Because it happened and it was all safe and everything. The next one would have been to send man.
Right.
So the monkey enjoyed it and it was like, well, I want to do it again, right? But they were like,
So how did they know that? How did they know he wanted to...
just the way it looked and what have you. It was like,
Fuck off! Just the way it looked!
So-
you are a maniac.
so the thing is though, right? So after it had done that, it was on such a high, right?
Yeah.
It could never get that high again.
Turned to drugs?
There was nothing that it could do.
Went on tour, did it?
It sort of ended up killing itself. because it could never get that buzz that it
Right,
got.
that was absolute bollocks. None of that is true, except they sent a monkey into space, and I'll check that. Absolute drivel.
So, in your mind, it committed suicide. It went on a crazy bender, drinking drugs and women. And
like
then,
it does happen. You
and then
hear
it was
about
found
it.
in
You
a
hear about
motel
it.
room. Carl, can I ask you a question?
Go on.
I know this is what a lot of the fans are already wondering. Is there going to be some monkey news today?
There's got to be.
Of course there is.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's
All
a
right.
question.
Well, I don't want. I'm worried because maybe this will steal your thunder. But Sarah has emailed this in a chimp mauling under investigation. I know you're concerned because this actually fuses two of our greatest features, Monkey News and Knob News, into one seamless whole.
Oh.
Investigators said they are trying to figure out how two chimpanzees that viciously attacked a visitor at an animal sanctuary escaped from their cage. This is the grim bit. The chimps chewed off a man's nose and severely mauled his genitals and limbs.
Why did they go for his genitals?
Both of them did as well.
Eh?
Both of them. Did you say two chimps?
No, you're right. Yeah, it was chimpanzees too. Yeah, I don't know if
See,
both
which
of them
one
went.
did it?
They just saw that they're dangling away, and they
You
just
go
went,
for the nose?
Yeah.
I go for his bollocks.
And
Now,
then
what accent have they got there?
I
those
don't
chimps?
know.
Were they kind of New York gangster chimps? They're like soprano chimps.
what happened to him anyway?
Well, unfortunately, they were shot dead by the authorities.
You see, that annoys me a bit.
I know, well, again,
What are you talking about? They're attacking people's gonads.
I know, but they were happy in an African jungle a couple of years ago.
That's what
Yeah,
they
but
do,
the-
isn't it?
That is what they do.
But why aren't they just sort of tranquilised? Where was
Why
this?
am
Was
I
this in
being
a zoo?
accused like it was my fault just because I happen to be reading? Sarah, who emailed it in's the one who should be getting a
It
bollocking.
just annoys me how one way it's kind of like, you know, we're trying to save the pandas, and then the next day someone's shooting them or whatever. I've talked about this before about St. George killed the last dragon, right?
All right, it didn't exist.
It's the same thing though.
No, there's never been any dragons.
No.
It's a mythical creature.
Well, you don't
By
know
mythical,
that.
it means we made this up, like the unicorn.
Well,
I don't even. What was your point about the dragon? What's that got to do with
because
this?
I'm saying how, like, why is it all right to be going around, going mental with a gun, shooting all the monkeys and killing them? Because one day we're going to run out.
This
Or-
was an animal sanctuary, though. So presumably they had quite a cushy time there, because most of the ones I've visited, they've always got it easy. They're
But
hanging
you
around
don't-
on tyres, they got comfy chairs, they're wanking. They're going berserk, they're loving it.
But hang on a minute, you've just answered your own question there. You said they're in a sanctuary, so they haven't had a good upbringing. So they're going to be a bit more, like, madder than other monkeys, aren't they? Because that's where the ill ones go, isn't it?
Sorry, what do you understand by sanctuary?
Well, I've been to one for seals.
It's not like a borstal.
Yeah, exactly. He thinks it's a borstal. He
It's
thinks
like scum.
Yeah, like they did some bad stuff in the jungle, and they had a little monkey court, and they went send him to Borstal.
So, well, what is it then?
No, it's a monkey sanctuary where it like a haven.
Well, it's not a haven, is it? They've got a bullet in the head.
Rick, it's that time again. It's what everyone's waiting for. Can you do the jingle for us?
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news. You
Right, this week the monkey news is about, you know, we all know, like, you know, there's monkeys knocking about that aren't happy in
Right,
this
yeah.
country.
Sure.
Isn't they?
It is a big problem, yeah. It's an epidemic.
So they've set up like this this place
Okay.
where they all go. The ones that aren't happy in a zoo and what have you, it's getting them down.
They can phone a number and they'll come and pick them up.
Pop them in this house place, right? And basically they can run riot in there.
Yeah.
They get freedom to sort of cheer themselves up. There's 3 people running this place, right? So these monkeys, big house and that,
PlayStation, anything they want.
gym, all that lot, swimming.
Jim.
One of them wanted to mess about with the woman's breasts.
Which woman's breast?
The woman who works there,
Right.
right? And she was like, right, pack it in, you know, we've all had a bit of fun. You've been in
Sure.
the gym and everything. She obviously, you know, got a bit excited
He was a bit
and
fired
that.
up,
He was
yeah.
fired up and that, ready for some more action and that. He's trying to have a go on this woman's breast, right? She was like,
Have a
"No."
go.
She was like, no, you're not doing that. Pack it in and all that. The boss who's running the place was like, come on, let him have a go.
No, Right, you're talking shit.
So anyway, right? So he's there, and he's,
So the boss says, "Yeah, you
the
can have a
monkey's
group."
saying, the boss is saying, let him have a go.
Come on, Rita. If Monkey wants to play with nipples, let him.
So she's like, I'm not happy with this, and he's going, come on, you know the rules here. We've got to cheer these monkeys up.
Oh, this is absolute.
We
bollocks.
valued it.
Actually, no, and in the end, because she didn't allow it to happen, the fella bloke sacked her, got someone else in.
I want to see the advert he put in the Guardian media page. I love that. Woman wanted to let Chimp feel tits whenever it wants.
Well, it's all up there.
You're talking absolute shit again.
Well, we'll see.
That is no way that happened.
Rick, it's that time again. It's what the whole world is waiting for now.
Is it
every
Monkey
week.
News?
It is Monkey News. Please perform live the jingle.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news, you.
There we go.
Right then, well, got an email from John. If you've got any monkey news going on in your area,
Let us know.
God, amazing.
but there's a TV channel in Moscow, right? And I think they had a bit of bad luck or something, a lot of redundancies and that, right? And whoever was in charge of it got a bit mental and got rid of loads of people, right?
Yeah.
And they come in the next day and they were like, right, are we ready to go live and that? And someone comes running in with a clipboard saying, we haven't got any people left, right, to present.
Such nonsense.
Right, tell you what. Right, okay, carry on.
So he goes, what?
If just one employee turns out to be Simeon and is doing a good job, I'm never doing this radio show again.
So this TV channel, it's having a lot of problems and that. They've got to go live, right? He's like, what am I going to do? Anyway, for some reason, right, there was a chimp knocking about.
For some reason, that's the key piece of information,
it
but we didn't get it. We didn't get it.
It doesn't matter, does it?
It doesn't matter.
It does.
It doesn't matter. Imagine
Anyway.
if that was in a film. And they're going, well, I can't see where this plot go. Well, he's just there. He's just there.
So anyway, he sort of says, get it in a suit, right?
Why?
So, because they're running out of ideas, the clock's ticking, they've got to go live with something.
What do you mean? What he's
What, is it a
presenting?
news programme?
He's presenting.
Listen, it's a chat show. I'm not...
They can't
Again,
talk.
don't have a go at me, have a go at John, who sent this in.
Right,
And
be
this
quiet. Let's hear it. Let's hear the end.
So anyway, like I say, they going live, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever. Chimp sat there on the chair. He was like, look, let's just get through tonight's show and worry about this tomorrow, right?
What are you talking about?
Look.
So they put a chimp in a suit. What was that handmade, or were the sleeves a bit short on him? You idiot! Think.
So anyway, it's sat there, right? And they're going, right, here we go. Good luck, everyone, right?
Yeah.
Chimp's there.
What programme is
It's a
this?
chat show.
Whose chat show is it?
Well, it's the monkeys.
I like the fact that
It's the
they...
monkeys now, is it? Did I say?
I like the fact that they put the chimp in a suit. It's like, no one's going to take this chat show seriously if he's not dressed up, if he's not smart.
Slovenly, look at that slovenly ape.
So anyway,
Oh.
let's get to the point of it and that, right? So anyway, they go on, right? It's all going
Didn't
brilliantly.
happen. There's no way this happened.
Here's a fundamental
anyway.
question. How was the chimp asking questions?
Not sure about that bit, but all I've got is the stuff that was on the news site for this. Like I say, I've
But
given
it's
you,
rubbish.
Yeah, but I've given you some facts.
No,
I've
they're
told
not.
you there's a TV channel in Moscow that's having problems, right? I've explained that
No,
bit.
it's this rubbish.
They've got rid of presenters. The monkey sat there, right? Don't worry about it anyway. I'm telling you, it goes all right.
It
So
goes
anyway,
okay. In case you were worried, Rick.
he's sat there, right?
Absolute
They get to the
shit.
first break, they're like, can't believe it, right? Viewing figures and that, they're loving it, right?
What? No. What? How did they know the viewing figures in the break?
Please do not interrupt the
And
news.
what did the chimp
At
do in
end
the
of it,
first half?
They had a big guest on that week and what
And
have
what
you.
did he do? Just talk to
was it?
himself?
They walked out.
So Cher comes on,
I'm
yeah.
not sure, but say if it is Cher, right?
No,
Right?
what-
The main gaffer is like going, oh, Cher's going to go mental at us, right, for putting
Say
on
it
with
is.
the
No,
monkey.
it is Cher.
No, it's
In
Cher.
his mind, it's Cher sitting there talking to a chimp in a suit.
So anyway, she
and they're
comes
filming
off-
it for Moscow TV, and the ratings are going through the roof.
Presumably there's a translator because Cher doesn't speak either Russian or chimp.
So she comes off, right, and the bloke who's in charge is like, she's going to go mad. She's going to go mad here. She walks up, she goes, I love that. Right? said that's one of the best interviews, right? So anyway, we decided, right? It went so well, kept him on. He's still there.
I love the fact that Cher was an idea that Steve threw up, and now she's going, I love that, I love that, I love that, Jim, get me back there. I want to go to Moscow, never mind. Unbelievable.
Don't have a go at me, have a go at John, but, you know, if you've got any monkey news, send it in.
Carl, can we have some monkey news before I die?
All right.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news, yeah.
This monkey that was knocking about called Ollie. It was in this zoo, and it was the only monkey in there, right? And it was getting a bit lonely because, like, it was sharing its sort of time with, say, an elephant and a giraffe. And
No,
that.
it doesn't happen.
And they didn't really
No,
get on that well.
Wait, they do
No, but
not
let me
put,
just tell you.
They do
let
not
me
put
tell you-
chimpanzees
yeah, but let
in
me
with...
tell you. No,
well, it's not true.
I know
Why
they're
would he
not-
share his time with an
no, they're
elephant
not-
and a
listen,
giraffe?
Gervais,
I know
it was some kind of flat share. They put an advert in the student union.
Yeah.
saying we
Yeah,
need,
but
you
I'm
know,
not-
we've
I
got 2
don't-
rooms to let.
African mammal wanted.
Well,
Not
anyway,
specific.
but
a mammoth and a.
What I'm saying is there was other elephants for elephants to knock about with than that. The monkey, it was the only one there. So what happened is the zookeeper
Right.
felt a bit sorry for him. He started to sort of get pally with him. So at lunchtime, when the zookeeper was sat on the wall having his like ham butties or whatever, he'd sort of go, "You all right?" And it used to come over closer and closer. Right. Anyway, within a month, he was sat on the wall having his lunch with him. Right.
That
But
aren't true.
anyway,
Go
so
on.
he sat there, and as time goes on, you know,
Yeah.
he's sort of sat with him most of the day. Monkeys
Yeah.
walking around with him, helping feed the other animals and that.
No.
But then what happened is the zookeeper, at the end of the night, when he's like locking up and stuff,
Yeah.
he'd feel bad because he'd be leaving the zoo, and like Ollie's sat there, and he's like, "I'll see you tomorrow," and the monkey's like, "Yeah, all right, see you later." He's looking all fed up because he's got home to go to, and he's still stuck in where he's basically working every day. Right, so he's never going home, right?
Now he's sleeping at work, the monkey.
So anyway, the
Yeah.
zookeeper goes home, says to his wife, "Look, Ollie's having a bit of a time at the moment." So she said, "Oh yeah, what's going on?" He said, "Well, he's just looking a bit fed up. You know, he's sick of it." So she said, "Bring him home."
It didn't happen.
So
this is
anyway.
in your head.
So she said, "Yeah, bring it home tonight." So anyway, he's looking forward to going into work, and that he sees Ollie. He doesn't tell him straight away.
It's a surprise for him later.
He gets to the end of the day.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's like, "Get your coat." He's like, "What?"
Coat? What do you mean, get your coat?
but whatever the equivalent is, right? Whatever you say to a monkey, it was kind of like, you know, "You coming with me," sort of thing.
Right.
So he's going, "Oh, brilliant." Anyway,
No, he's not.
So
Why
he
do you mean he's going brilliant?
He takes
Look,
it home.
so he gets his hat and coat.
Yeah.
and he
Can't
Go
believe
on,
he's locked,
Ellen.
right?
Yeah.
He goes back to the zookeeper's house. Everything's going well for about a week and a half.
Right.
Treating him really well. He's sat there, you know, he's having a brandy at night before he goes to bed. So he said to his wife, "Look, you're at home all day, right?
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to work. I'll leave it with you, right?" So Ollie stays at home.
Yeah.
Anyway, as time goes on,
Yep.
a little bit of trouble. Whilst the fella's busy at work, Ollie starts getting a little bit cheeky. Tries it on with the missus.
Whoa. Right.
How does a
Carl,
monkey try it on with the missus?
Are you
But this
talking shit?
is classic monkey news. And
How does it try it on with
So
the
he's a
missus?
bit drunk. He stinks of smoke. He tries it on with the missus. How does he try it on with her?
I don't know all the detail on
You don't
on
know
that
any
bit.
of the
I don't know the
details.
detail on that bit. But
You don't
all I
know any of the
No, I don't know
details.
the details on that bit.
You
but
don't
I
know any of the
So
details.
what happened? So while the zookeeper's away, the monkey did play. Did the zookeeper's wife reciprocate these affections?
She probably went along with that at first. You know, she's cooking at home, getting the tea ready. That's walking past, pinching her arse or whatever. And do you know what I mean? It starts off just like it does, you know, with humans. Starts off as a bit of fun. Before you know it, you know, split up in the end. Anyway, the zookeeper and the what's it? I think the monkey stayed with the woman. So, it's all there. It's
Honestly,
all on email, mate.
your imagination.
Well,
you
look
should
it up.
write stories. You
Get
should
people-
write. You
Get
know.
people to look it up. Just put in monkey, chimp, Ollie, and it's all there.
Carl, it's what we've all been waiting for.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right. Well, this one sent in from Sam in New York, right? And it's about a fire that happened, right? In a really, do you know, like in New York, they have loads of big buildings, don't they?
Yeah.
Right, really, really tall ones and stuff.
Skyscrapers.
Yeah. And there was a fire in one of them, right? So they did as expected. They called up, you know, fire brigade and that. They turned up, right? Fire engine parked up. It's like, right, where's the fire? And they said, oh, it's on like floor 100 or whatever. And they said, oh no, we've brought the fire engine with the short ladders.
Stupid mistake, but go on.
Right. So anyway, so they said, well, how are we going to get up there?
Yeah.
We can't.
But they've only brought the short ladders.
No, we can't. Let's go home.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Forget
was Monkey News.
So they said, well, there's a lot of like grippage.
Because they made up words. The firemen, the NYPD firemen.
There's a lot of grippage
On the side of the building and stuff. So anyway, they said, why don't we just go and get a monkey, right? So they got a monkey.
That's a bit of a jump.
Is
They
that
just-
policy now in the New York Fire Department?
Well, you've got to think quick, haven't you? At the end of the day, if people are up there, you don't start querying if it works or not. You try everything that you can to help someone out, right?
That's the first thing I thought of. Was it a monkey?
So it was quicker for them to go and get a monkey than to go back and get the long ladders.
Why don't they get
Okay, fair enough.
Why don't they get Spider-Man?
Yeah, cool Spider-Man.
Yeah, cool Spider-Man.
So anyway, so they got a monkey down there, and they said, right,
Where
well,
did they get it from?
We don't know, from the local zoo or something.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So they said, look, let's, we've got to remember there could be someone up there,
Right.
and it'll shock them a bit if a monkey comes in, right?
Yeah.
So they said,
Yeah, I don't think they'd care.
Get it
If their building's on fire, they're not going to go, oh, it's weird, there's a monkey at the window. They'd be screaming, save me! Oh, there's a monkey.
so
Away
anyway,
from them.
so they said, right, we'll just get it a little small uniform and that, the smallest you've got.
But whoa, hold on though. Actually, where are you going to get that? I'm going back to the station. We'll get the long ladders while you're there.
No time.
No time. No, I bought the small uniform. I just didn't bring the long
Yeah.
ladders. You're an idiot.
So anyway, it goes up there. It's got all the kit on and what. It's got its little adder on and all that. It grabs. There was like a little person up there. Manages to grab that.
Not
give it a
midget.
little.
Who was up there then?
It was just
Someone that was just the right size for a monkey to be able to rescue, which is handy. Because if it had been anyone else, like a larger person or a family, we'd all been screwed.
No, I don't know about the size of it, but it's just the story saying how like it was quite a big monkey, and that it was good at breaking down doors.
Oh, yeah.
It was good at climbing into small spaces and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that. Anyway, it
But
managed to.
so it's big enough to carry a fully grown man, but small enough to climb through a cat flap.
Yeah, so
Which is handy.
So anyway, it managed to, get
Did it have the boots
person.
on as well?
It got the person and everything, and now it says it's sort of it's on call if they ever need it again. So.
Sure, and if they ever get anywhere again and they've forgotten the long ladders, but there's plenty of grippage, they just call for Coco.
So that's this week's monkey news.
Bollocks.
Okay, I think it's probably time. Let me just check my watch. Yeah, it's monkey news time.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news, you.
So this week, anyway, it's more about tall buildings and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It was this bloke who was a builder.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you know what builders are like? They sort of move about, don't they, from sort of building to building, just building.
Well, yeah, once they've built it, the building's done and they move on to build some more.
Building to building, just
Where-
building, yeah.
So he goes to his next job and that, right?
Who does? The builder?
The builder.
Yep.
He goes to like the
The
boss,
new building.
the boss of this building, who's building it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And he says what unto him?
Do you need anything building?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, he says, yeah, there's plenty of work and that going about.
Yep.
He said, we're working on this one here. He said, get going on it. Like, there's your bricks and your cement and stuff. Get on with it.
Yeah.
Any plans?
So they
Just build.
Just start building.
Yeah. Go up.
they're getting on with it and stuff. It's all going well.
Yep.
But he notices that there's someone working high up, right, on the
Okay.
top bit. So anyway, he's saying to like the other workers, he's going, who's that up there?
Who's that up
Like,
there?
He's working on his own.
The little fella, was he?
And
The little hairy fella up there.
Who's
he's
the little
saying.
hairy fella up there with the hard hat?
And the other fellows are going, look, don't ask questions. The boss decides who he takes on. We're happy to be getting paid here.
Don't ask questions! Well, I'll see him when he comes down.
So he said, well, it's pretty impressive, the work rate he's doing, the way he's getting from one girder to the other. He doesn't
Swinging, is he?
He doesn't seem to be scared of the heights or anything. He said, no, just let him get on with it. We work well as a team. So anyway,
What nonsense is
So-
this?
so-
He believes all this.
Yep.
so he sees the boss and he goes, that fella up there, who's the fella up there? He's pretty good. And he's like, look, just get on with the job. Yeah, I'll pay you. Let's just all get on with our jobs. Like. Lunchtime comes, they're all sat on a little wall having the sandwiches. He's thinking he'll come down in a bit. He's just carrying on.
Is he just still going?
Still
Yeah.
going on that, right? So the fella says to the boss man, he says, isn't that fella up there going to come down and join us for lunch? He said, like I said, mate, don't worry about him,
Yeah.
right? He
He's
said,
very
"Look,"
secretive. I'm suspicious about this fella. I don't know.
Yeah,
why.
I don't know.
I don't know why he's working through his lunch. I don't know why he's not scared of heights. And I don't know why he's swinging from girder to girder. It's weird. Go on.
So he said, "Oh, anyway, you've reminded me that he's up there." He said he's doing a lot of riveting and stuff up there. He probably needs some more nuts to.
Right, sure. And what kind of nuts is that? Is that nuts to food or?
So he said, "What nuts?" He said, "Yeah, just there's a bag full of them there. Just put them on the hook, send them up, and he can get on with his job." So anyway, he picks these nuts up.
Nuts,
right?
yeah.
Just hooks them on. He thinks they're not that heavy,
No.
considering I mean they're normally pretty heavy, aren't they? Like nuts
big
and
bag of
bolts and
nuts,
stuff. So anyway, he has a little glance in.
Oh no, what's in there?
Nuts.
What, you mean nuts that you can eat?
Nuts that you can eat.
Oh.
Right? So they send the bag up, and he's thinking, "What's all that about?" He checks him out, starts to stare, works it out. You can see that he's a little chimp running about. So he goes, "I'm not happy with this."
Why
So-
isn't he?
Because he's working for an organisation that's, there's unions for this sort of stuff, isn't there?
Yeah, he's not going, "That's amazing. They've got a chimp riveting this building together."
Yeah.
that's not scary. He's wondering if they're breaking union rules.
So he
You
goes.
don't have to talk.
So he goes and has a word with
He
the
goes
boss.
to the boss and he goes, "Look, I've worked out what you're playing at here."
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, them out
Is the
there."
boss sitting in a tyre?
So he goes, "Look, we just all try to earn a living here." He said, "Don't get involved in it. I'm happy to pay you, but I'm paying him. Don't interfere."
He's paying him.
And he's saying, "Look, I'm just not happy with this. It's not allowed." So the boss was saying, "Well,
We
to be
pay
honest,
peanuts. We get monkeys.
He said, "To be honest, mate, he's a great worker. He's known for doing what he does. He's a good grafter. If one of you's going to go, right, I'm afraid I'll have to let you go because he's
Blimey.
been here longer than that."
He was made redundant.
None of
because
that
the monkey-
happened.
He was laid off.
None of that happened.
He's laid off and that. And that's
No.
where that saying about, like there's a lot of tower blocks and that in America. It's like the chimp off the old block is where... So that's monkey news.
It's that time again. Do the jingle.
Oh, monkey news! sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna do a really good one.
Okay, go.
Oh, chimpanzee that! Monkey news, yeah.
Right, do you know it's nearly time for the Winter Olympics again?
Okay.
Is it? Okay.
They sort of come round every 4 years.
Is it this year? Is it?
Yeah, and the last one that happened,
4 years ago. Yeah.
there was a bit of an incident.
Oh no. Do you remember any winners that were monkeys in any of the
No,
tournaments?
of course not.
No.
So
So
it's not
anyway,
going to be that because it wouldn't be true. Go on.
yeah.
so anyway, one of the popular events, bobsleigh.
Okay. Right.
It works.
Well, you
It's
need
like a
4
sleigh.
men. Is it 4 men or 5
4 men.
It's 4. So it's definitely 4 men that you need
Need
on
four
a
men.
two
Two.
team.
Is it? And two. And there's 2 team bobsleigh as
But
well.
they're always men. Is that right, Rich? Just clarify. With the Winter Olympics, you can't have any animals taking part.
No, and they also because they wouldn't be allowed. And 2, there's no way they could disguise it because not only would they see it straight away, right, but they have blood tests,
Right. Okay. So,
which would show up.
so they definitely know if it was
Well, they have
any
blood
kind of
tests.
non-human.
It's impossible. It would be literally impossible to have anything other than a human
Taking
involved
part.
in a bobsleigh team.
Fine. Okay. So carry on.
So anyway, the country was doing really well in the qualifying stages.
Oh, yeah.
But the problem was there was like 2 members who were getting all like the press and stuff.
Oh right, yeah.
Anyway, so this one member was getting fed up because the other 2 were getting all the press and what have you. So he said, "I'm not happy with this.
Yeah.
I'm jacking it in." So they were like, "You're joking? We've qualified. We're getting into like the main race and everything. You can't leave us now." And he said, "Well, you could do it all on your own before. The way you were acting, like you didn't need me, so I'm going." So the clock's ticking. It's getting close to the big race and
Of
everything.
course it is. Yeah.
They're like, "What are we going to do here?"
The substitute
Right?
they took with them.
What are they
Well,
going
they
to do?
must have.
Yeah, they would take the substitute. So get him
No,
on.
they didn't have any of them and that. It's,
What?
a lot of injuries and stuff.
Or just get a mate to do it. Just get a mate or a
Yeah,
friend
mate,
or the coach to do it. Yeah.
But there's a lot of responsibility on these people, and you won't want to let your country down and that. And they're like, "What are we going to do?"
Get a waiter or anyone. In the
Anyway,
hotel.
the time comes to the race. Seems to be 3 people on it.
There appears to be 3. Okay. Yeah.
They start off, they're whizzing around the track faster than normal. They're beating their old records
Right. Amazing.
because the new fella they've got a little bit smaller.
Ah.
Right?
Is he in?
So
Is he in the bobsleigh? Or is he pushing?
He's in it.
Oh, right, okay.
Right?
He's wearing a uniform and a helmet, though. We
He's got
can't see what he
helmet
looks like.
on.
We
He's
can't
got
see
the
his
kit
face.
on.
Can't see his face.
Nobody knows who he is, but
course
the
they do.
country's loving it.
course they
They're
do.
like, "Well, it looks like we're going to break all our records." Good. It's good that they found someone new.
Yeah.
Bet the other fella who left is sort of kicking himself, thinking, "Oh, I could have been part of this." Anyway,
This wasn't that bloke that had very short legs and long arms, was it?
Anyway, what happened is they're whizzing round the track and what have you,
Faster than ever, yeah.
faster than ever, and the press are like going, beating all records here. They started taking photographs. A lot of flashes from the cameras and stuff.
Right, of course.
Suddenly, the bobsleigh goes a bit sort of mental and whizzes off the track. Ambulance comes rushing over and stuff. The other two members are looking pretty nervous for some reason.
Oh, what are they doing?
They're saying, look, don't take the helmet off because, you know, you can do more damage to the
Well,
neck.
don't tell the paramedics how to do it.
They know their job.
Yeah,
they know their
yeah,
job.
yeah.
So they were
Please.
like, just you know, and plus, you know, he came in at last minute to help us out. He doesn't want everyone to know who he is. He's
Yeah.
not after the limelight
Yeah.
like some of the members we used to have. But he just
Yeah.
was helping his country out.
Yeah.
Leave the helmet on. Anyway, they get him in the ambulance and stuff. The other two are looking a bit worried and what have you. They're gutted. They lost the race.
The little bloke, is the bloke not saying anything? Is he not?
He's in the ambulance now.
Is he not saying anything though?
Anyway, word reported that one of the ambulance drivers said that on that sort of dreadful night when, you know, the country lost out on a medal in the bobsleigh, he sort of reported that there was a monkey in the back of the ambulance. People were like going, you're joking.
I don't remember
aren't you?"
this. I don't remember this.
Well, this is it, you see, because they sort of swept it under the carpet a little bit. They were like, this is crazy talk.
Bullshit.
This is crazy talk.
Once talk. Absolute shit. Where'd you get this from?
This is crazy talk, right?
It is
But-
crazy talk, and it's from the mouth of Carl Pilkington.
But the weird thing is that backed it up. Following week, there was a story of some people who visited the zoo saw a chimp in a neck brace. And that's this week's Monkey News.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news!
There was this airline, and was having a lot of problems, and a lot of
Pilot's too tall?
Yeah, the cabin was so tiny.
Only bananas were allowed in the cockpit for fuel.
Anyway, there was a lot of strikes going on, right?
Sure.
Because I don't know what it was about. It was over money or whatever.
Yes.
And
Well, get something that doesn't need money.
but
But what else could you pay something in,
Well,
Rick? I mean,
peanuts.
everyone would. Okay, peanuts or fruit, yeah.
So anyway, the boss of the airline, he had like one pilot who he could trust, right? And that was his son.
Right.
But the problem is with a lot of these planes, you need two pilots.
Of course you do.
And he's like, if only I had two sons. But he didn't. There's no point harping on about it. Right?
Sure.
He runs an airline.
He runs an airline, yeah.
But how many pilots are there? Because there must be loads.
No, there's loads, but the problem is a lot of them are going on strike.
Oh.
And each week you can see that we're struggling here. We
But how
haven't
can
got
they
enough-
just close it down?
No,
Anyway,
you can't do that,
no,
Rick.
I can't-
Of course you can.
It's costing
do
him a
that. It's
fortune if he closes it down.
Yeah, but what one plane's not going to make a difference in an airline, is it?
No, it's all the
It's all
planes.
the planes, mate.
So the son, he's flying the planes and that. He's getting worried for his dad because of his business. It's falling
Sure.
apart. He's like, anyway, listen,
Well, one plane won't make any difference.
don't worry about it. We've found someone who you can work with. He said he's staying over at near the sort of quarantine area where all the animals are kept
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff.
right, okay.
They won't be looking in there. They won't bother.
No.
So he's like, all right.
But there's no animal that could be a co-pilot, that's why.
I'll see you. He'll meet up with you in the cockpit. I'm like,
He'll meet up in the cockpit, yeah, sure.
So anyway, he gets in there, he meets them. At first, a little bit of a shock who he's going to be working with, but
Why?
he's thinking, as long as I can keep my dad's business alive, I can
Not with
keep a
one
job.
plane.
Everyone's happy. Then one day, what happens is a little bit of a problem.
Oh, dear.
Well, what happened is one woman who was on the plane got a bit peckish, right?
Right.
And said to the air hostess woman, said, "I'm a little bit peckish. Have you got any sort of nibbles and that?" She went, "No, I got a sandwich." She said, "I don't really want a sandwich. You want something, you know, like the usual stuff that planes give out, just like a bag of nuts or something."
bag of
What,
nuts,
are they not giving those out yet?
So no, they don't give it for some reason. She was like, "Look, we've stopped giving out the nuts. We can get you
That's
a sandwich."
strange,
And the woman's
yeah.
like, "I don't want a sandwich. I just want some nuts." Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
A sandwich is quite a big meal and what have you. I just want some nibbles, some nuts.
Well, that's not available.
So I
Done. End of story.
So she said, "Well, you're saying there aren't any nuts." She said, "But earlier I saw you put a tray outside the cockpit, right? It had a sandwich on it, 2 Cokes and 2 bags of nuts." She said, "So you're saying there aren't any, but the pilot's getting
Well,
them."
aren't they now? That was the last 2 packets. Done.
No. So
Let's go home.
Well, I'll go and have a word with the pilot myself because you only put them out there a few minutes ago. He can't have eaten
You
them
can't.
yet. I want
You
some.
you
I'm
cannot
going
go-
over.
no, no.
I know this is it.
Yeah.
She was saying you cannot go over. She's going,
No.
listen,
Yeah.
I'm going to go over because I feel
no,
like
you
I'm being
can't.
lied to.
No, you can't.
So she goes, starts,
No,
and,
there's
and
no
the
way.
pilot can
Well, they
hear all
can't get
this
in anyway.
chat about the nuts and what have you, and he's thinking, what's going on out there?
Yeah.
He opens the door.
Yeah.
Right? She gets a glance in. The monkey sat there with headphones.
Fucking bollocks.
Well, it's that time again. If you'd give us the jingle, please.
Oh, chimpanzee that.
Okay, now that surely cannot be fair on anyone's ears listening.
Right. Ages ago, right, about the 1950s,
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
there was this gangster knocking about. And do you know how, like,
Was he called Hairy Fingers?
do you know how, like, a lot of gangsters like to get into gambling and that?
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, like all his peers and that, all these mates who are like gangsters and stuff, they've all bought horses, right? That they take racing and they make money from them and that, don't they?
Yeah.
So anyway, he
And
was
Chuckles the Seagull was no different.
and he was like, yeah, that's a good thing to get into. I might get into a bit of that, right? So he gets himself this horse, right? And there's a big race coming up. That's why he's he's a bit of a last minute.
And the jockey turns up and it's fine. He's a human jockey and it's fine. Excellent. Okay, well that was another podcast.
So anyway,
Please listen.
Oh, hang on,
next.
there's more.
Oh, go
hang
on.
on. So anyway, this big race is coming up. He's like, I've got to be involved in this
Yeah,
because I
definitely.
can make a lot of money out of my horse here.
Choose the jockey wisely then.
So he says to his mate, he said, look, I've got myself a horse and that. He said, we just need a jockey, get someone to sort it out and what have you, so we can get in this race. So
Go to the jockey
his,
club. Loads
His
of
mate's
people.
like, yeah, all right, I'll have a word and that, have a look round and that, see if there's anyone decent.
And
knocking
the
out
good thing
there.
about jockeys is there's never been a shortage of jockeys because a lot of them don't make the grade. So there's always too many jockeys to go round.
Always too many human jockeys.
Yeah, there's never a problem getting jockeys.
Fine.
Go on.
So anyway, right, so his mate says, look, I'm having a problem getting a jockey.
Seems odd
Hold
because
on,
Ricky's
this is
just been
weird.
saying.
I don't know.
He's just been saying there's not a problem.
What do you mean? So
Just because the main problem was
Go on.
a lot of jockeys were aware of this gangster and were saying, I'm not getting involved with this guy. The chances are I won't get paid, you know, he's a gangster, it's not worth it.
would do it if it was a gangster asking you. You'd be scared of the consequences.
So anyway, he's saying, look, don't be coming to me with problems and that, right? I've got the horse, I want it in the race, sort it out. So they're like, oh, but boss, and he's like, don't give me any of that. Go
exactly,
sort it out.
they do what he says. So any jockey would do it. Go on.
So anyway, so the day before,
The big race, yeah. Left it to the last minute, okay, but
Yeah.
fine.
and he says, have you got a jockey then? They're like, yeah, but, and he's going, don't worry about it, have you got a jockey? Yeah, but, and he's like, well, look.
He wants
what-
to say, sure. Yeah,
So
they won't let him.
he's saying, has he ridden the horses before and that? He said, well, yeah, he has, but mainly, and he's like brilliant. And he goes, yeah, but mainly in like a
in
circus.
the jung
No, like in the circus and that. He'd worked with horses and stuff.
in the
apparently.
circus.
It's fine.
So he's like, that's enough. That's all I need to know.
Well, they'd be too heavy because circus people
so-
are quite built, aren't they? They're
He said
be a
so-
bit heavier than the jockey because the jockeys are about 8.5 stone.
He said, brilliant. Get him down there and that, right? Anyway, the race happens.
He didn't want to meet him beforehand. He wasn't worried.
No
about
point.
that?
Not
No,
bothered.
no.
As far as he's concerned,
It's all
he's
sorted.
putting his money on it and what have you.
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
What happened is they were trying to make him put on the jockey outfit,
Yeah.
but for some reason it didn't fit that well.
Sleeves
And that-
too
it was-
short,
it was
legs too long.
It's that sort of problem.
Okay.
So they let him, like, you know, wear his stuff that he wore in the circus and that because it's comfortable with that. He's happy with it. Do you know what I mean?
course,
That's what he's
yeah,
happy
let
with. Anyway, race starts and what have you. This horse straight out of the trap and that high speed, right? This jockey's got a really big grin on his face. He's loving it, right? Everyone's cheering, going, "Who is this? Who's this jockey?"
Yeah.
It's amazing. Never seen him before, and yet look at him.
But they can see his face clearly.
Anyway, Gangster's happy in that because he's won.
But I just want to say the crowd can see the jockey, can they?
What?
The crowd can. I mean, it's
Yeah,
face
but he's
not-
so fast and what have
The
you.
blur, it's a blur. It's all a blur. right?
He's good at it. I mean, apparently he was
Right.
close to falling off, and people were like, he's gone, he's a goner.
Right.
He's got such a good reach that he managed to grab hold of the,
sure.
Good reach. Oh.
at the end of it, you know, like the winner sort of rides around the crowd bit,
Yeah.
to sort of, you know, show off and what have you.
Yeah.
And all the women are there, and you know, like women are all dolled up at these events.
Sure.
They've all got big hats on.
Sometimes they got fruit on those hats.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Right.
And one of the women,
In
one
the
of
50s,
the women,
particularly, Carmen Miranda was very popular. Yeah.
one of the women had like you say, fruit and what have you on it,
Yeah.
a little banana.
Right. Some kind of
They're
Cuban
not real.
woman.
They're not real though. The hats. They're
It's not real fruit, is it?
No, of
Yeah.
course not. Never.
So it-
But I don't know
Really?
who. I thought they wore those sort of kind of Cuban
Yeah, but
entertainment
even,
shows. I didn't
even
realise
if
they wore them
yeah,
at
but
events.
even if it's like a big event, you know, you might have a hat with fruit, and it's sort of joke, but it's fake fruit because it would
Yeah.
perish. It
well,
would.
this jockey didn't understand that. He'd never seen false fruit.
I don't understand.
But why did the jockey? So why was he so desperate for fruit? I don't understand.
So anyway, meanwhile, the gangster's collecting his 500 quid winnings. Right? He's over the moon. Yeah. He kicks off because of this woman with the fruit.
Yeah, I don't understand. I still don't understand why the jockey would go.
Everyone noticed. Jockey, little monkey fella.
Oh, that makes sense. If he was a monkey, that would make sense.
Yeah.
What year was this? Because I want to.
It was 1950s, and that's where the saying comes from about, you know, like in Cockney slang, 500 quid is a monkey. He sort of put, you know, he put a monkey on it, and it all goes back to the time when.
So this happened in England.
In this country, yeah,
in England. So someone could well still be alive that we could easily contact. That
well,
would
that's it. We always, you know, there's no
event.
time length on this monkey news. If you've got any, if it's history, you know, if it goes back.
Or if it's made
ago,
up, bullshit.
Just send it in.
If it's bollocks,
if you've got any bollocks,
if it's absolutely bollocks,
send
please send it in.
That's this week's monkey news.
Oh, well, it's that time now. Yeah? It's the big one.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey news!
Right, there was this
monkey,
this fella, right, who he had a problem with his eyes, right?
Yeah.
So he goes to the doctors and he goes, oh, I've got a problem with my eyes. And he goes, yeah, they bad them, right? He goes, it was in America, you know, like how you have to pay for medical stuff and all that.
Mm.
And the doctor said, oh, if I fix them, it's going to be like 10 grand, right?
Mm.
He's like, but I haven't got the money, doctor. He goes, well, I can't help you then. You know, there's a lot of people with bad eyes like them. Can't do anything for you. So he goes, oh, it's getting worse. I can't do anything. So anyway, so he goes home.
Is that the price of human eyes, is it?
So he goes home, he's looking in the paper, right, and he sort of sees in the adverts at the back, and there's a little advert there saying cheap doctors, right?
No, bollocks.
Oh no.
No.
So he's thinking, oh, maybe that's what I need, right? So he calls them up. Woman's there. She's like, wait, what can I do? He goes, I've got bad eyes and that. She says, oh, come in tomorrow, we'll sort them out. She's like, brilliant, I'll see you then. Right? So he goes down there, and he says, right, you know, I can hardly see. My eyes have got in really bad state and what have you.
Right.
I need to have them sorted out. I don't know what you do. Whatever you do,
Right.
I need
Now,
doing.
his eyes are so bad. Can he see the doctors? He can...
Not really,
Can't
sort
really-
of
he's
squinting
squinting.
and that. But, you know, so he's like, do I need to see the doctor to, you know, have a word and tell him what problems? She's like, no, don't worry about that.
Don't worry about
just,
it.
No, I'd be comfortable if it's a...
just you know, just let me inject you and we'll knock you out and we'll get on with it. And it's
on,
like,
get the
well,
doctor in.
Can I just tell you something about chimps as well, just before you continue?
Go on.
You know, they don't have opposable thumbs.
Now,
which is
why
what-
are opposable thumbs useful? Rick?
Well, to grip something, to do anything like, you know, even simple stuff like writing, so let alone surgery. So without an
But
opposable
can I just check
thumb-
now?
Go on.
So if I was a doctor and I was doing any form of difficult surgery, would I need opposable thumbs?
You'd need opposable thumbs
To be a
And-
doctor
and
of
without
any kind.
you couldn't do anything. You couldn't.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Because the opposable thumb allowed something in our evolution called the precision grip.
Right.
So without that, you couldn't do anything.
I'm just glad they've got that cleared up. Thanks.
So anyway, so he's had the injection, he's nodding off and what have you, right? His eyes are sort of closing and that. He hears the door open, he sort of just sees this little fella come in and he's like, hello, doctor. He's trying to, like, make a chat with it.
Sure.
But, like, he's just nodding off. No, just...
Oh,
he
never
or
call
she,
it doctor.
he or she.
These people have done 7 years medical
Deeply
training.
respected people.
How could you call it it?
So anyway, he thought, oh, it's weird he didn't answer, but, you know, doctors can be quite moody, you know, they're highly intelligent, they don't need...
Especially little hairy ones.
Well, just idle chit-chat. There's no room for that, do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm
Yeah,
here to do a job.
it's just. Yeah, but you know, if I'm going in to have my eyes done, I want a little bit of idle chimp chat.
So anyway, time passes, right? He sort of wakes up and he opens his eyes, right? And it's brilliant. He can't believe it.
Eyes are perfect.
He's had the op. He can't believe the sight. He's like, nurse, right? And the nurse comes in because I can't believe it. This is brilliant. I've never had this such good sight. Do you know what I mean? Even when I was a baby,
Yeah.
and my eyes were new,
Yeah.
I didn't see this good.
Great.
So she's like, well, you know, that's
You realise the nurse is a panda.
that's what we do, right? So he said, right, so can I just see the doctor and just say thanks and that? She's like, well, to be honest, you know, he's specialised in what he does. There's a lot of
What a
work.
load of bollocks this is getting.
Please.
Where did you get this from?
No, come on. Let's hear the end of the news.
There's a lot of like operations he's got to do.
Yeah.
So you know, leave him to it. He's just having a kip. You know, I'll let him know that you were grateful. You know, pays the check. Off you go. Go and enjoy looking at stuff.
Yeah.
So he said, no, I just what's wrong with that? I just want to see that. She's
No,
like,
that's
no,
fine.
leave it. Just leave.
Yeah, exactly. Leave it. If
And
he
he's
says-
like, yeah, but I can't. You know, I want to thank him. So he's done such a good thing for me. So they're getting into a bit of an argument and what have you. And the voices are raising. Right. Door opens.
Going to wake the doctor up.
Well, that's what they did. They woke it up. Right.
They
so,
woke it up.
It.
So the door opens. Right. Little monkey comes out.
Oh.
And he's like, what's going on here? It's hospital. Why is a monkey knocking about?
Yeah.
So the woman said, well, what do you mean? He's the doctor. Right. So he's like, you are having a laugh, aren't you? She goes, look, don't complain. Your eyes are sorted.
Yeah.
You know, the doctor's done it. What's the problem? He said, well, if I'd have known that, I wouldn't have come here. She said, well, what do you mean you didn't know that? She said, the advert in the paper you read, it's like chimp doctors.
That is the biggest load of shit I've ever heard. That really is the worst.
What? And because his eyes were so bad, he thought it said cheap doctors.
He saw the advert and it said chimp doctors, but because his eyes were bad, he just saw it.
What journal is this in?
It was years ago, because it sort of says how the monkey sort of carried on working for a few years. He couldn't do anything
Then
about
just
it. He had to
retired to
leave
play
it.
golf.
It's absolute bollocks. There's no way. I mean, it's not even worth talking about. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
It's the most ridiculous monkey news you've ever heard, and that's saying something.
Chimp doctors, cheap. It's easy mistake.
Fancy that monkey news!
That jingle is getting more annoyed by the week.
Well, this is the final monkey news, right? I'm not doing this anymore, right? Because we've covered it all.
All the monkey news has been covered?
It has. We've done loads of them. I think all the news that needs to be sort of known has been told, right?
That is the end of the news. Jesus Christ.
What?
Get on with it.
Right, do you know we chatted about the monkey that went into space and stuff?
This was the one that was fed by bananas that came out of a little chute on the spacecraft.
Yeah, it went up there. He came back. He could never get that
The high that he's after,
again.
yeah.
You know what I mean? He tried other things. I think he tried to get a band together and that. Right, so anyway, there was loads of monkeys that were signed up to this NASA program, and it was 1961 when this little monkey called Ham, that was his name, as well as him, there was one called Enos. So anyway, what I found out about it since then. Am went up there, did the left-right business with the bananas. Enos, they didn't put as much work into the trip when he went up there, and something went wrong with the machinery. And do you know how you get a banana for the left button and all that?
It's official now. There's 2 buttons in this spaceship. Banana dispenser and everything else. The right button is everything else.
But it worked the other way. The machinery went weird.
Oh, no, really?
So it meant that the right button would give him a banana.
Right.
The left button did everything else.
Oh, no.
How does
So
that, how
what,
does
so
that
what
happen,
had been
though?
taught?
What?
This is the problem with electronics, isn't it?
Well, no, I don't think
No,
that's...
apparently this is the problem.
But the good I mean, honestly, look it up if you want. This is all online, by the
So
way.
what happened when it all went haywire? What occurred?
Luckily,
Carl, this is online and it's bollocks.
luckily, Enos, because he'd done a few trips,
Right,
so he was like, well, I know this isn't right. As much as I love bananas, this isn't right.
That was his thinking, of course it was.
So anyway, so he came back. They were all like over the moon with him.
He
you
said,
know,
I
going,
can't work with these conditions.
good mission and everything. Well done on working it out. He sorted all that out. It moved on a few years. Armstrong's gone up there. Buzz and that other fella, they've been up there. The monkeys aren't needed anymore. But they were like, we've got all these monkeys who have done NASA training. What are we going to do with them all? And they had to raise £14 million to make them like an old sort of chimp home for retired
Astronauts.
Retired NASA-trained monkeys.
Chimpanauts.
Something they've got in there is like a little museum, right, of all the missions and that they've been on, so they can sort of, even though they're not going to be going into space again, they can almost relive it and reminisce of the times that they've had. And
They're reminiscing with each other, are they?
just sort of going,
Chatting
oh,
about the
remember
old
that time when it all went wrong, the button became the left when it should have been the right and all the rest of
Yeah.
it. They just, you know, sort
Talking
of
about old times,
talking
yeah.
about old times and what have you, like old people like to do.
Sure.
And yeah, that's it. So if you want,
Perhaps we should retire monkey news to that same place.
that's what I mean. So, you know, I hope you've enjoyed the monkey news and that. That was the last one. Look after the monkeys. Do your bit, because they've done their bit. That's it, yeah. But just because I'm not giving the news, look it up. Do you know what I mean? It's all out there. Don't be ignorant.
Wise words. Had a late night last night because I stayed up to watch a programme about monkeys.
It's already good.
Of course he did.
It's already good.
Now, before I read on, I mean, is this not some kind of monkey news? Is this not a late return to monkey news?
Well, it's not that good.
Is it not? Whereas the other monkey news is
Oh, chimpanzee, that's more shit!
this is what he says. This is what he gleaned from the programme about monkeys. It sat on a bridge and wanted stuff off people to walk over the bridge.
What?
So it was acting as some kind of toll booth,
This
was
is
it?
ridiculous.
No, it was a bridge in like the jungle.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
And it's a monkey that's sat on a bridge, and a lot of tourists go through the area.
No, it's a monkey
to look at them.
who realised that if he sits there, he'll get stuff because it look like it's a cute little chimp begging.
No, but every time.
Yeah, because you give a monkey, I'm as bad as him now. If you give a chimpanzee a banana, and he starts realising that humans have things to give.
Yeah, but it's all
squirrels
sorts of
learn
stuff.
that. But you don't go, you wouldn't say, went to the park, the squirrel's waiting at the gate. You have to give them a toll to go in. They don't do anything to give them nuts. They come up to you every time. You fucking idiot.
Went to bed after watching it and fell asleep thinking about it on the bridge right now. It's a bit bad, really, because the monkey should work harder for its food. It made me remember the slug I saw yesterday that was eating bird poo. Nobody would ever help a slug with food like they do with ducks and monkeys. A slug's life is pretty bad. The only time they come out of their den is when it's raining.
Den.
So even their days out are depressing.
It is. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It is like, it's a horrible thing to be, innit? A slug.
I love him talking about what is it like to be a slug.
No, just because like the monkey, even though it's been quite aggressive, everyone was like, "Oh, give it some water," and it was well like kitted out. It had like chocolate bars, bottled water, some like fizzy stuff, and all that.
An iPod, it was listening to Monkey News.
It could have had one if it wanted one. It was getting away with murder on that bridge, and that's just because it was furry. Yeah, if that was like a blob, like a slug, there's no way people would be that friendly towards it. And it just annoys me how you get this pecking order for like no matter what creature you are, favouritism. And that slug was only eating that bird poo because it wasn't being offered stuff.
If it was offered toffees or whatever.
Well, it's just sad, isn't it? It's come to that. That's what its life has come to.
Yeah, but it's not as
was
mollusk
raining, like
that's
I said.
down on its fucking luck.
it didn't live in a big country house,
No,
and his
but it
wife
is.
left it. The
I
kids
was
went. It started hitting the
watching
bottle.
it, and I kind of thought, and look, they do only come out in the rain, and it's depressing, and it'll probably get killed in a bit. And that was its last meal. I just
Last meal.
But
people
it wouldn't
don't care.
prefer steak and chips, Carl. It
No, but
doesn't
a
have.
leaf. It must like a leaf or at the end of the day, it's an insect. They love
It's
it.
not an insect.
Well, it's part of that gang. It's part of that. No, it's part of
They
that.
hang out together. They hang out
Not.
together.
Why do you think it's part of that
Because
gang?
it knocks about in the woods in the same place as a spider does. But what I'm saying is they're eating boring stuff because that is what's
It's
in
not
their
boring
area.
stuff to them. They're not. I have no opinion of it at all. They take in sustenance.
No, but where you are is what you eat. When I'm in London, I'll have beans on toast for lunch. On holiday, what? Tapas? Go on, I'll have a bit. So it's whatever you eat, what's in that area.
But man is nature. Don't forget that we're an animal. We're a brilliant ape. We're actually 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee, Carl. Think of that. We only differ on 1.4% of our genetic makeup.
That must be the arse. Because that's a lot different.
Animal rights is a hot topic.
It's a big issue.
What rights should they have? We test drugs on animals, and we're basically saying if they die, they die. We'll learn something from them. People do make distinctions between animals' rights. They know that it's probably more acceptable to kill an ant than
Punch a cow.
Yeah, exactly.
I told you, didn't I, about my dad's mate who had a monkey and he had to thump it.
What? Well, there's two things there. One, why did he have a monkey? Two, what sort of discipline is thumping a monkey? What was the monkey doing?
He was annoying his wife a lot and sort of, pinching her arse and stuff like that.
Right,
No,
right.
that's
Wait a
not
minute.
true.
We've
It's not
never
true.
heard this before. How have we had all these years
No,
of
I'm sure
monkeys
I
and we've
told you
never
about
heard this
it ages
before?
ago.
Your dad had a mate who had a monkey?
Yeah, I'm sure I told you.
Why did he have a monkey? Just for a laugh?
Well, it was back in the day when people did. They all had like odd sort of pets, and
When?
that, didn't they? In like about 68,
Oh,
In
1968,
1968.
when everyone had a monkey.
we had to thump it. Now the weird thing is,
No, that's weird enough.
Is this is all the story? This is the entire story?
No.
You've got all the information you've got is he had a monkey and he had to thump it.
yeah, my dad told me about it when he found out that I was into monkeys. He said, "Oh, Benny thumped one," and
Benny thumped one. Oh, my son's into natural history, particularly simian variety. I've got an interesting fact for you, Carl. Sit down. What is it, Peter? Benny thumped one.
but
Brilliant.
But what was interesting is the way that People are thumping other people all the time. No one bats an eyelid. Thump a monkey. People go, you thumped a monkey.
Yes, they do. They do go, you thumped a monkey.
So that's what's weird, isn't it?
But this chimp doesn't want to be caged and kept in a fucking council house in
No,
Manchester.
it was quite happy. And if
It
it wants to
wasn't
live like a
happy.
human... I mean, in the 70s, you know, there were all the teabag adverts and all that, and they were loving that.
No, they
and
weren't
people
loving it.
interfere. People go, that's unfair. Now
They-
they're in like a cage in a zoo. You're going, it was better when I was pushing a piano up the stairs.
They weren't really.
They weren't actual delivery men.
They weren't really sitting down and having a cup of tea.
It wasn't a documentary. A week in the life of the monkey delivery men.
I love that. Chimps in a zoo now going. Okay, now at least we were free.
Remember when we used to drive a van
And
for a
we, were,
living?
and we were on 58 quid a week.
Yeah.
They're not meant to be kept in a house in Manchester. Cruel to keep a person in a house in Manchester, so it's fucking cruel to keep a monkey.